Hey people, welcome back to my channel. So today I'll be showing you guys how I make Ayamase stew, which is also called Ofada stew. Ofada is like a type of rice in Nigeria, so we use this stew to eat this type of rice. So Ayamase is popular and tasty Nigerian stew, mainly made with like green peppers and green bell peppers. I already have a video on this channel showing you guys how I make it with red bell pepper, which is the alternative way of making it. But today I'm going to be showing you the main way, or should I say the main traditional way of making Ayamase stew. So let's start with the peppers. One of the main ingredients in Ayamase stew is the green bell peppers, and I'll be using a lot of this with a lot of Scotch bonnets as well. Ayamase is meant to be a very spicy stew, so go crazy with this chili and the spice that you add to it, but obviously adjust it to your own preference and to your tolerance as well. I played it safe here with using only 5 Scotch bonnets with like 10 bell peppers. Normally I would have used more Scotch bonnet, but because I knew my little nieces and nephews are going to be eating the stew, I didn't want it to be too spicy for them, so that's why I'm only using 5 Scotch bonnets, 10 bell peppers, and I'll be using 3 large onions and 4 spring onions. These are all the ingredients I'm using for the pepper mixture. Okay, so to prepare the peppers, it's always best to use a food processor to blend the peppers, because the peppers are meant to be roughly chopped and not a smooth blend. And I would highly recommend that you just use a food processor, because it will just do the job so well for you without any stress. So add the peppers and blend. No water is needed to blend if you're using a food processor. So once you blend, you want this beautiful texture, so it's not too smooth and not too chunky. So obviously you're making sure that you're keeping an eye on it and making sure that it's not too smooth. This is the perfect texture that we're looking for. So now that the peppers are ready, it's time to prepare the meat. Assorted meat is always best for Ayamase. That's how it's traditionally made. I have been asked about how I cook my meat, and a video on this is coming soon, but for this video I've already cooked the meat. We have a variety here, and it's up to you what type of meat you want in your stew. So I've got assorted meat here, cut into little chunks, and I always prefer to fry the meat before adding them to the Ayamase stew. Trust me, it tastes so much better this way. The meat would have amazing flavor, the stew will have a better taste to it as well. It would taste really nice. I don't know how to explain it, in the sense that like the stew will be really fried. It wouldn't taste like boiled stew. I'm not sure if that makes sense at all, but trust me, just fry the meat before you add it to the stew. Okay, so to fry the meat and peppers, we need palm oil. Palm oil is another main ingredient for Ayamase stew. We will bleach the palm oil first before it is used. I already have a video describing how this is done in my Booker stew video. So if you're not sure how to bleach your palm oil, you can check that video out. I'm going to use the same bleach oil to fry the meat, and also to use it to cook the Ayamase as well. So we're going to fry the meat until it's nicely browned and set that aside, and we can start with the Ayamase stew. To make the stew, firstly we're going to be adding some sliced onions to the bleached palm oil, followed by some locust beans. Locust beans is another main ingredient in Ayamase. It can be skipped, but if we want that traditional Ayamase, it is a necessity. It gives you that beautiful aroma to the stew. So we're just going to fry this for a few minutes and then add some powdered crayfish. Once this is mixed in, add the peppers, the pepper mixture straight away. By this point, the stew is already smelling so delicious. Stir the peppers thoroughly and leave it to fry and cook for around 10 minutes on medium heat before we add the meat stock, or any stock of your choice. But as I'm using assorted meat in the stew, I'm using meat stock here. So cover it and let it cook for another 10 minutes or so before we add seasonings to it. So taste before adding seasonings, especially before adding salt, because the meat stock would have already contributed to the flavor of the stew. So for seasoning, I'm adding small amount of salt, and then I'm adding some seasoning cubes as well. I have chicken and beef seasoning cubes here. That's literally all the seasoning I'm going to be adding to this stew. And in goes the fried assorted meat. Stir this in and let the stew cook. I let it cook for another 15 minutes, but I was stirring in between to make sure that it doesn't burn. Once the oil has risen to the top of the stew, it's a sign that it's ready. So taste to ensure seasonings are perfect, and obviously you can adjust it or add more. at this point. And for additional flavor, I like to add more crayfish at the end. And lastly, I'm adding some boiled eggs as well. Boiled eggs are optional, but it's part of the whole vibe that comes with this stew. Trust me, it will taste so good when you're having it with your rice. Obviously, unless you don't like boiled eggs, then you can skip this process. So stir everything together and reduce the heat or turn it off because the stew is ready. So the stew is obviously tasting amazing and it's ready to be served with hot rice, Ofada rice, basmati rice, long grain rice, wild rice, any type of rice. I've even tried it with pasta and it tasted really good as well, so you can try that. But yeah, this is it guys. Ayamase stew is done and ready for you guys. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Please leave a comment below of what you think, and please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel guys. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.